Alhamdulillah wa salatu wa salam ala Rasulillah. Peace and blessings be upon the Prophet Muhammad and his noble family, companions, and all those who follow him until the end of times. We're continuing our series on understanding Islam and the true meaning of faith from the Islamic point of view, as described by Imam Barbahaaree in his book, the Sunnah, or the Creed. Now, the Sunnah reflects the actions and deeds and the statements or the way of life as set to us in the example of the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him. And so the second point, as we said, that the fundamentals of faith described by the pious predecessors or the scholars of the olden days, the Salaf al-Saleh, as Imam Barbahaaree from Iraq once wrote, they used to write the points of faith in point form. And so the second point of faith, Imam Barbahaaree states, is from the Sunnah, from the way, from the path of the true believer, from the example of the Prophet, from the Sunnah is clinging to the Jamaah. Clinging to the Jamaah. Whoever desires anything other than the Jamaah and departs from it, then he has thrown off the yoke of Islam from his neck and he has gone astray, leading others astray. Now, what is this term, the Jamaah? Now, the Jamaah can be Jamaah, Jumu'ah. We know the term. It means congregate or congregation. It's also a similar term to Friday, Yom al-Jumu'ah, the day where the Muslims congregate for their prayers. The Friday congregational prayer that we call Jumu'ah comes from Jamaah, to congregate. Now, the Jamaah is an Islamic term which refers to the majority, is probably a misnomer. It is the main group of believers who are holding on to the path of the Sunnah, to the path of truth, to the creed, to the faith, to the fundamentals of real belief. That is the Jamaah, that main body of people, that group of scholars, leaders, imams, people of knowledge who continue to enforce and educate the people on the fundamentals of understanding the orthodox of the tradition. Now, that Jama'ah, we know that Imam Barbahaaree said, whoever desires other than the Jama'ah, other than what the mainstream, if we can use that liberal, moderate Muslim, as the liberals say, whoever desires something other than what the Jamaah, the traditionalist, the originalist, the pious predecessors understood of the Sunnah, then it is if he is throwing away Islam and he has nothing to do with Islam. He himself is astray and he is leading others astray. And this is why there is this importance to stick to the Sunnah and stick to those who talk about keeping the fundamentals of faith as it was in the generations before us. From the Sunnah, from our way, is sticking to the Jama'ah, sticking to the congregation. And if you want something other than what the majority, and not necessarily the majority, I correct myself again, but the group of mainstream scholars who call to righteousness and good actions on the tradition of the Prophet, if you go against that group, not those who get involved in conspiracies and conflicts and disunity and dissecting the Muslim world, but those scholars who remain fast and steadfast on uniting and joining to the originals of faith, if you seek something other than that, then you have lost Islam and you are astray and leading others astray. May Allah protect us from that and keep us close to following the Sunnah, the way of the Prophet. Assalamu alaikum. Peace.